We're back. Tea in hand. Oh god. Did I read that? I don't know. I don't really care. I hope mouse doesn't be a bitch today. Why? Because it's not clicking. Well, it is, but I have to click twice. I have to put pressure on it. She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her fingers yelping, ah, and looking very puzzled. Come to think of it, what's Hee-chan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun. I got no one to hang around with, you silly pink-haired drilled girl. We just had a little chat. Oh no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hee-chan? Yes. No, I'm not. Is Hee-chan in trouble, teacher? No, he's not. Muto sighs deeply, and I feel that I have to help Misha to get her off the teacher's back. Shut up, chair. So what you need? Here's a list. I can try to find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room. She offers me the notes she's holding. I take it, hesitating a bit. I said I'd help you, but this has no implications on whether I'm joining the council or not. I don't think we can now. Ah. Still, thanks, Hee-chan. Try to be quick. We are in a stall building street now. We must hurry, hurry, hurry. She bounces out the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Well, there you have it. There you have it, Nakai. You got something to do now. Please don't sound so smug. Oh, pause. Yeah. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizune's, I heave a sigh. I'll be going then. Waving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit the hallway. Rinny! The classroom closet to... Oh yeah, she's as lifeless as me. So that's easy, I can remember her voice. But I get the feeling her character isn't lifeless. It's just her face. She just comes across as that. Did that sound horrible? If it did, I'm sorry. The classroom closet to as designated belongings to class 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side and 3-4 on the left. Where's 3-3? Each door looking exactly the same. Further down the corridor, still with identical doors, are rooms that I didn't think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. It's a stock room where you pile shit in. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? Yes. When you see girl eating with fork from toe, then you know you are. Well, from foot. Desks and chairs are all around the room. A thin layer of dust settled on them. There are some easels in the corridor, so at least this looks like the right place. The room is flushed in sunlight from the big windows, shadows creeping all over the desks. Specks of dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making the beams of light almost visible. Dancing? Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Well, okay, yep, I did not click, but he was going to say, anybody home? Something catches my eyes and I stop mid-sentence. Rinny! Oh, look at her. Isn't she lovely? Sitting on a desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform with a fork between her toes, a morsel of food stuck firmly on the end. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands, but her presence here is what takes me aback even more. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in the corner very still, but what's it called? Is it misdirection? I don't know. Golden was on about Kuroko no Basket a while ago, and I think it's something with misdirection. There's a character with blue hair. I should really watch that anime. Since season 3 is announced, I might as well start with it. So yeah, but still somehow took her as a part of the furnishings or a statue at the first glance. I'm not being too observant today as a whole. The girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights. She's staring at me, her mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork. Accept it! I'm staring at her, my mouth wide open, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think if I should. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically. Hello. I'm sorry. The girl stuffs the fork in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward. Hello. I was told to pick up some supplies from here. For some festival stalls, I think. I didn't think there would be someone here. There isn't. That's why I came here too. She picks up another forkful. Doesn't that mean you're here then? She raises her eyebrows. Rin and Kenji would make a lovely couple, I'm sorry. I mean, Kenji I can't put up with, but Rin, she has the same atmosphere, well, not same atmosphere, personality per se, to an extent. But, oh god, but I can put up with her, because she is awesome. She raises her eyebrows as if she was suspecting my observation was false. You're pretty observant. I guess it does. But who are you? This girl is pretty straightforward, isn't she? I'm Nakai, Isao Nakai. I just transferred in on Monday. I'm Rin, Tezuka Rin Tezuka. I won't shake hands with you, but at least we know who we are now. That's very nice. Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. Well, you can see the smile on her face. It kind of bothers me. Joking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all. This black comedy. While I'm trying to figure what's appropriate and whether this girl is... She seems to have lost interest in me and is now gazing yearningly back at her food. I was confused then. Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind me, I won't mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are in the back. Go right ahead. But lunch? School's already over for the day. What word would you use then? There is no word for a meal you eat for lunch but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too, but I don't really know what I should say. I don't think you're supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with. But I'm hungry now, and my delicious boxed lunch would go to waste otherwise. I have curry. It's very delicious. With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up the fork between her toes and with at least as much impoliteness, she points it straight at me. So, Nakai, what brings you to this place? Like I said, I was told to look for these things. No, the school. From outside you look fine. Is your problem inside? Oh, I totally forgot about this. Beautiful. I come to a full stop, opening my mouth but not getting a word out. Oh, hello. Be right back. I'll be back. I can guess. I'm good at guessing. Better than most people. Rin cuts me off before I can answer her question. Or skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of this issue again. I haven't even told anyone here about my condition. Or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. Exactly. I don't get the feeling that not making issues of this is part of the social code here, as the teacher said. I wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not. Probably not any better than any normal person could. I can't relate to Suzune's circumstances, or Lily's either. Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition could be with an overtly contemplative look on her face. She puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there. A beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other side. I don't think it's anything in your head, and something in your gut would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine, and less delicious. The problem must be in your pants. It's the smile that gets me, not the suggestion. This is messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement, and the sheer... Well, I'm watching the Sherlock Holmes series, I got one more episode to go. But yeah. Imagine that. Like, all the images going in her head, and then the deduction she makes, just looking at the body. Oh. I can imagine that happening. Like I said, if they ever make this an anime, that needs to be one of... Oh, what is it? An Easter egg or something. When it goes to this part. Oh, that'll be beautiful. And sheer lack of tact it was delivered with catches me completely off guard. I think I must have reeled back even physically as Rin's eyes widen in revelation and astonishment. So I was right. There's something wrong with your tackle, isn't there? Still partially in shock, but recognizing the need to reply something, I spit out the first thing that I can think of. No, nothing like that. I have a heart problem. Arrhythmia. ... I said it. More like blurted it out, but I said it. You have to defend your manhood. The girl in front of me purses her lips. Yeah, I lose that a lot when I write. But for other reasons. Together and glowers at me? Looking very disappointed. How boring. Trouble in the pants would have been much more scandalous. What with the reaction? I'm sorry to let you down? I forgive you. Just, I collect people and a person with you. My god, my reading is atrocious. It's getting worse. Just, I collect people and a person with, that kind of problem would have been really great. Collect people? People with different problems. Huh. So you just, go around asking people what's wrong with them? Pretty much. I see. With little left to say, Rin resumes her lunch and the conversation dies away, but I keep thinking about what was said. Did I say we might make a choice in here? Well, at this rate, I probably lied. Oh, why did I do that? It's the first time I told anyone else about my condition. All the other people have either known about it already or heard about it from someone else. Or didn't need to know about it, like every other student here so far. Should I have told it as a natural part of introductions? Is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Hisao. I have a very serious heart condition. That'll probably cause some awkwardness. I'm sorry. And then we all know what happens when... Well, how was I gonna word that? Ah, yeah, now I know. We know what happens when you mention about it. After a little fun time for third time's the charm. It was the face of pity. Lily's arc. Oh, for God's sake! Just signed out of Facebook. People are annoying me. Is that how I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on? No. As if our disabilities would define us. What a disgusting thought. Or maybe this Tezuka girl just has an unnatural interest in such things. Not unnatural, it's just idle curiosity. As I walk to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance opens to study Rin from the corner of my eye. Her hair is a bird. Oh, pardon me. Almost orange. What? It looks more maroon than orange. and cropped short, long hair would probably be impossible with no arms. Exactly. The boy's uniform and the lack of arms make her look very thin, almost scrawny. She is not particularly pretty. Hey! I think she's very cute. Except for her murky green eyes, which flicker restlessly from below her short bangs, even when she eats. The distance and the shadows make it seem like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorb all of it within them like deep wells. She moves her feet almost as if deftly as a normal person would use their arms. However, I can see how this sight could discomfort people, especially while eating. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it's too late now, isn't it? It's not unnatural. I keep searching the cabins and shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable, so I try to force some conversation out of this strange girl. So, do you always eat alone and this late, or do you get the occasional visitor? Visitors? Maybe. Maybe you are the first occasional visitor, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I eat with a certain person on the roof, if she's not horsing around. Horsing around! Oh! Are you assuming with the races? Oh, right. Fair enough, I get it now. I mean, when you see Emi, it should be, for the first time, it should be so obvious, but you never think about something like that. Ah, okay. Horsing. She likes to do sports. Yep. There! The hints were given! Oh. And that's all I can think to say. Both of us fall silent again as Rin forks the last bits of her meal into her mouth. I look down at my haul and double check it with Misha's list. It seems I have everything except plywood. So, I think I have all the things now. That's very nice for you. Don't feel obliged to stay. I was about to take a nap anyway. You need to do whatever you are going to do with that stuff anyways, right? Or perhaps you like to watch girls sleeping. Eh? I'm not sure what to make of this, but Rin looks serious. Even if I did, I think I have to be going. I'll catch you around, Tezuka. You can call me Rin. I feel that our relationship is at this point good enough to warrant this much. I was already turning to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine, then I'm Hisao. Then you are. ... I think that's supposed to be that you are. Rin looks at me hard in the eyes, but that intimidating feeling you get when someone stares at you isn't there. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple of times and I can't figure out why a pause like this just pops between us out of nowhere. See you later, Hisao. There's something like a tiny smile there in her face. Maybe. Ugly picture. I quietly back out of the room. As I shut the door in front of my face, I whispered to myself, what an intriguing person. From inside I heard a muffled sing-song voice. I heard that. Whoa! I forgot about you as well. Okay. What? Oh, she must have heard Rin. What did she hear? I jump at the sudden appearance. Oh yeah, the assumption. Okay then. I jump at the sudden appearance of Misha, who I had not heard approaching despite the completely empty hallway. Somehow she had gotten to jumping distance of me without making a sound. Creepy. It briefly reminds me of Kenji's nutty theory about about a global feminist conspiracy, but I pushed that thought aside. Oh, it's Shizune. Oh, Shizune is here as well. Oh yeah, she's with the Ascension as well. Shizune, standing slightly behind Misha, looks aloof as she couldn't have heard the remark that drew Misha's attention, but Misha is visibly excited. No, wait, more importantly, who is in there? There's no club meetings today. She tries to curiously peek past me, even though the door prevents her from seeing anyway. What are you doing here? You took so long that we had to come back and check what's wrong. That's no good, Hee-chan. She wags her finger at me scoldingly. I found plywood, but everything else is still missing because you are tardy. Oh, sorry. I got the things here. I got the things here. Was just going to bring them. I think you were up to some mischief, Hee-chan. Who was in there with you? Who was in there with you? I wonder. Why do I keep making those unnecessary pauses? It irritates me. Misha signs something quickly to Shizune, pointing at her own ear a couple of times. Shizune immediately pushes her way past me and opens the door into the classroom I just left. I can only imagine the shock she is experiencing. With Shizune's diligence and attitude, the insolence of daring to deface school property by sleeping on top of it must be too much to bear. And indeed, she stares at Rin, frozen in place apart from the slight but noticeable trembling of her shoulders from suppressed rage, I'm sure. Instead of blowing up, Shizune just takes a few deep breaths, adjusts her glasses, and slams the door shut, turning to sign furiously at Misha. Maybe she did blow up, but I can't understand it. She shoots a very loaded stare at me too, as if it was somehow my fault that Rin's sleeping on the table. I hope she's not getting any funny ideas about the reason of my tardiness. Couldn't be more wrong. Well, actually, you are right. Hello. Rin's voice comes from the other side of the door, and it takes a few eye blinks to realize she might have trouble opening it. I open the door to find Rin directly behind it, looking at us with a half-interested, half-sleepy face. Hello. ... Mr. Zuka, what do you think you were doing? You absolutely are not permitted to use school property for such disgraceful activity. It sure is suddenly very crowded in here. I didn't know I was this popular. It's hard to say whether she's happy or unhappy about this turn of events. She looks a little afraid, to be honest. At any rate, she ignores Shizune, Misha's scolding, so they have no choice but to drop the issue. Shizune taps Misha's shoulder, points at Rin, and makes some quick signs. ... Popularity aside, please don't do that anymore. ... Anyway, how is your project going? Will it be done for the festival? Rin looks at them blankly. Oh my. Apparently at ease under the pressure Shizune's cold stare is putting on her. I keep wondering about that myself too. And? We'll think about it harder. Oh god, it's a shame I'm not romantic. So I'll romance her last. As Misha signs her reply to Shizune, her face turns into an unsatisfied frown. ... Mr. Zuka, please try to take this seriously. It'll be a disaster if the wall looks like someone threw up their lunch onto it. Rin nods assertively. Well, that will think more seriously. Misha actually giggles at that, but Shizune doesn't, not even after translation. She just shakes her head, takes the materials from me, and takes off with Misha in tow. I think we are going to make a choice, but I doubt I'll be able to read it in 5 to 6 minutes. Rin frowns thoughtfully as she looks after the retreating student council duo. How rude. It's true though, I must finish my project before the weekend. There will be dire consequences if I don't. The end of the world as we know it. Like weekends usually are, but more dire. much more dire. Maybe I'll postpone my nap to unforeseen future. I'm about to ask what projects she has and what are those apocalyptic consequences, but she walks back into the art classroom. Since you have nothing to do, would you give me a hand? This paint can doesn't fit into my bag, but I need it. She clicks slightly at a huge can of paint that's lying on the floor next to the table she was sitting and sleeping on. It lets out a dull clang. Being the gentleman I am, I naturally pick it up. Heavy. Yeah, sure. Where do you need to take it? Away. And with that, Rin Tezuka, away! She takes off to the hallway, me and the paint can following since there's little choice for either of us. The hallway is quiet and empty now with Shizune and Misha gone, so we too leave towards the stairwell at the other end. Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps I have to change the can from one hand to another because the handle cuts into my palm. At least it keeps my arm from tiring too fast. Rin strolls on beside me with an uneven pace that I have trouble matching, or maybe I am walking weird because of the extra weight. It seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast, and I can't figure out which. 2 flights of stairs below, Trouble appears in front of the head nurse and his fox-like grin. Ah, Mr. Nakai, what a happy coincidence. Tezuka too, of course. My god, that voice scares me. Trying to sound like a bridge Pegasus is, oh god, you cannot impersonate such greatness. He nods courteously to Rin, who does not acknowledge him back. Then turns to me because obviously it's me who he had some business with. There's something I forgot to mention on Monday. I nod and wait impatiently because I can't even begin to guess at what he forgot. The feeling of the handle delving deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about this interruption either. It's about your medications. Since you haven't been that long on your current medications, there might be some unexpected side effects which might require adjusting dosages or even changing to another kind of medication. My god. So we will do a few tests regularly, but what I'd want is for you to keep an eye on everything in your condition that feels off, if you get what I mean. Nausea, headaches, anything, and come see me if something happens. Alright. Oh god. So how are you? Everything fine? This voice is so scary. I do apologize. I give up and drop the can to the floor before answering him. Apparently this takes longer than my biceps can handle. Piss off. I'm about to say something generic as an answer, but then I realize how often I've done that lately. Other people have asked me that too. Teachers and students here. My parents, visitors, nurses, doctors at the hospital. Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital, not so much for a school. Except this school. This is a small school, and both the students' base and the faculty seem to be very tightly knit. At least that's the feeling I'm getting. And this is not the kind of school that gets transfer students too often. Oh my god, stop having these inner thoughts, man. Just get to the choice. The thought sent shivers up my spine, but I give a generic answer anyway. ... That's great. Also, one other thing. My sources tell me that you've been at neither the school track nor even the pool, so I'd like to know if you have taken up exercising as I asked. Oh my. Of course I haven't, but his way of inquiring gives me the feeling that I should have been running my ass off on the track since the first day. You have people spying on me? Not as such. I happen to know a few people, but that's not the issue here, so don't try to slip out of it. Well, I was actually just doing some improvised weightlifting as an exercise. I pick up and lift the can up and down a few times like some sad imitation of a bodybuilder, even though it's weighing down on my arms painfully. The stupid grin disappears from his face for a second, then comes back like it was never gone. Tezuka, would you give us a second? Not with that voice. Get back here. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. I'm going to stop episode 8 and then start with episode 9. Well, while I make a fresh cup of tea. Good day, and hopefully we'll make a choice and hopefully head to the track. So 2 choices! The romance will start next episode, or the episode after, I suppose. Good day.